Hello and welcome to another episode of Toothless MMA's radio series Quick Hitters. I'll be your host, John Galloway, and today, as we look at the world of combat sports, I'll be joined by my guest, Warren Stewart. Warren, John Galloway, Toothless MMA, how's it going today?
Not too bad. How about yourself?
I'm doing well, thanks for asking. So you got a fight coming up September 26th, Cedar Park, Texas, for Titan Fighting at Titan Fighting 30. How'd that fight come about?
I guess my opponent's Nick Gonzalez, and I guess his opponent dropped out, and he knew I've been wanting to fight him for a while. We were supposed to fight like a couple years ago, but the fight just never happened. And I just finally stepped up. When he asked me, "Hey, do you want to fight me?" I said yes, and the fight promoter hit me up and said, "Hey, definitely want to take this fight?" I said, "Yes, sir."
So I hear that you and Nick don't get along well, that there might be some bad blood there. Is that true?
Yes, sir. We don't see eye to eye. We the only two guys in Austin, Texas that hold title belts, and he has had opportunities to do something with his career, but these past couple years he have not performed. And me, I've been doing this for a while, and just I've been trying to get on bigger cards, and for him, he kind of wastes his opportunities, and it's something I don't really like.
Now your record coming into this, probably not what you wanted to be. I have you here at 11-19. Had a couple. You had a nice win streak going, then you faced a couple of losses here. What do you think is going to change in this fight that's going to bring you back onto the winning side of the ledger?
Right now, I'm at a new camp right now. I'm up in Dayton, Ohio, with an old training partner of mine. We fought each other like 6 years ago. We've been friends ever since, and right now I'm up in Ohio at a new camp at a different area, and I'm actually really loving it, actually.
So just the change of scenery, the change of camp, maybe getting a new angle, a new input into your techniques and your game planning, you think that's going to help put you over the hump?
Yes. I mean, I have not really, for a couple of years, I have not had a solid training camp. I have not really had a solid team. I've been pretty much all by myself, almost, pretty much. That's really why my record's the way it is, honestly.
So, tell me how you got started in MMA. What's your roots? What's your background? How did it all begin?
Honestly, I did 15 years. I've been doing Taekwondo for a very long time. Originally from Indianapolis, Indiana. I hold a couple black belts in martial art. When I moved to Texas, I really got in a lot of trouble back home, and I moved into Austin, Texas, and I was at a gym and shadow boxing. A fight promoter was looking for an opponent because another fighter dropped out of his fight, and it was like 2 weeks before the fight. And he was like, "Hey, you want to fight? Because you look like you have some moves." I said, "Yes." I really did not know anything about MMA at that time. I saw it on TV a couple of times. I didn't really pay too much attention of it, because I saw, when I first saw it, I saw guys with no gloves. They were bare fists. And then I got a little older. Once I hit 17, saw guys with MMA gloves and these little tights. I thought it was like wrestling. I thought it was fake at first. But when I actually stepped inside the cage, I was already going up against a top dog already. He was already had a couple fights underneath his belt. His brother was a world champion already. He's already bred into this. And for me, I didn't know anything about cage fighting. I really just got lucky, honestly. Somebody found me, and I just started fighting ever since.
Well, it sounds like for you, as the same story with a lot of fighters. A rough background, getting into trouble, and it seems like mixed martial arts gave you an outlet for those emotions and for that energy that kept you out of trouble. So, you can't complain about that. That's always a good thing.
Somewhat. I have my up and down with cage fighting. It's a love-hate relationship, honestly. I've been on top for a while. I've been crashed down. I just now finally since last year finally got back into fighting. 2 years ago I was suspended for almost 2 years. Everywhere. I couldn't fight nowhere in United States. And now, since last year, I finally got some fights, and trying to now do something with it now.
Well, you're now going to be stepping into a big show under Titan's flag. What does that feel like for you to get that call from Titan saying, you want to come take part in this show? What kind of what does that mean to you?
Really being honest, really it don't really kind of don't mean too much for me, just because I've been on big shows before. It's not new for me. My problem is I kind of want money now. Like I said, I've been in this for a very long time, and I always put on shows. If I beat Nick the Ghost, like I asked the fight promoter, not too long ago, if I beat Nick the Ghost, I want a title shot. Like I said, the fight for Titans, hey, I'm grateful for them to let me be on their show, let me fight for them, but it really don't mean anything for me to be on their card. They don't use me they don't use me again.
No,
you kind of get what I'm saying? Like I said, I've been on big shows, but I do very, very well. I might lose by a split decision, but I always go through a war. But they only use me one time, and if they can use me more and more, I can get a title shot underneath them. Then I can actually say, I'm really proud to be on their show. But right now, it's just another show for me. Honestly, it's just another fight. Just a fight. It's a personal fight. Between me and Nick the Ghost. Just because he holds a title belt in Austin, I hold a title belt. We both got. Everybody knows us in Austin. And for me, it's just turn him in a ghost. Nobody. I'm hoping after me and him get done fighting, everybody forgets about him. Honestly, because I pretty much built my legacy in Austin. I started in Austin. First fight was in Austin, Texas. I made a name for myself down there, especially around Texas. And like I said, he kind of somewhat holds the crown in Austin, Texas, and me, I personally don't believe he's that good of a fighter. Honestly, I don't think he should get all that credit. And big shows he has been on, he fails in it.
Now, right now, your fights have been mostly at 135, if not all of them. His fights.
No, not really, sir. I've been in a couple 35 fights, but I have been in all the way up to 170 twice. I fought at 55. I hold a 145 belt. done a couple of 35 fights, but honestly, they're just really kind of a hard weight cut for me to cut. That's why I took this fight at 55. I mean, right now, this is an easy weight cut for me. I'm already walking around at 155. But I know for Nick Gonzalez, this is a hard weight cut for him.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. So this is at 155. You already answered the question by saying that you're pretty much walking around in that weight already. If you think it's going to be a tough weight cut for him, so what do you think that's going to do for him coming into the fight? You think it's going to play with his mind, play on his body? Do you think that's going to give you an advantage going into this fight?
Yeah, I believe so. I believe it'll give me a big advantage because, talked to the fight promoter last week, he was telling me Mr. Go can cut down to 145. I mean, in reality, he can't cut that weight. His last fight, he fought Leonard Garcia for legacy. Biggest card, biggest show, fought one of the biggest names, and he was 9 pounds over. Wait. The fight before then, I think he took the 55 fight, he was still overweight. For me, this is, like I said, this is an easy weight cut. I mean, technically, I'm supposed to be a 35er, but it doesn't matter. 35 to 45 to 55, I'm still mean as hell. And
No.
for him, I look at him going to be, I'm not going to say out of shape, but, he's not going to be like me. He's going to have a hard time cutting weight. That's why I told the fight promoter, hey, yeah, he might can tell you he can cut down to 45, but you look at his track record, he has not ever made 145. Then for him to go to 55, I mean, to me, in my opinion, he could barely do that. I just saw him a couple months ago. We shook hands, and there's a picture on Facebook. I'm bigger than him. I'm lean, and he's a big boy. He's a fat guy. He's a fat Mexican. That's not being mean.
Now, without giving away too much of your game plan going into the fight, it's still a couple weeks out. Where do you think you're going to have the advantage going into this fight over him?
I'm an all-around fighter. He's not. He's a striker. That's pretty much it. He can spin takedowns, but he's been choked a lot. Me, I only been submitted twice in the beginning of my beginning of my career. A lot of my fights I have lost by decision,
Right.
or TKO. And honestly, I don't have that many TKO. Really, the true TKO fight I really can actually say I actually been TKO is when I took a 170 fight. That was when I took a 35 fight, then like 2 months later or a month later took a 170 fight. And even that fighter told me I was the meanest guy he have ever met. I didn't run from him. I banged with him. And that's the thing. Me, I have a hard chin. Nick Ghost don't have a hard chin. He's been knocked out a couple of times. He's been submitted. Like I said, only been tapped out twice in the beginning of my career, around 07, and I only truly been TKO one time.
Well, now you had mentioned earlier that you're training at a new camp with somebody that you fought previously, an old training partner. Why don't you give him a shout out? Who are we talking about here?
My boy Van Bo, Van Tactic Bo. He lives in Dayton, Ohio. He used to live in Austin, Texas. Last year, we pretty much came to Austin, Texas almost the same time out us knowing each other really. Cause I'm originally from Indianapolis, Indiana, and he's from Ohio. We both, at 07, we both went to Texas out us knowing each other. Then been around, we've been on the same circuit a couple of times, say hi to each other here and there, but, what really changed our life, we fought each other 6 years ago, was the fight of the night. And, he contacted me, and ever since then, we've been like brothers, pretty much. Nah, I can't even say like. We've pretty much been brothers ever since then.
Nice. Now, the fight's coming up. It's for Titan Fighting. It's going to be Titan Fighting Championships 30 in Cedar Park, Texas on September 26th. If people can't make it there live and they can't catch it that night on CBS, where can they follow you on social media? What was that?
What I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to have somebody video camera this fight. I have a professional camera guy. He's going to be video camera this fight, and every I guarantee you, Nicky Go says he's going to knock me out first round. But, I can say the same thing, but I have somebody that's going to each round post it up on Facebook. Every video camera that fight and post it up on Facebook.
Excellent. So where on Facebook can they follow you? Same thing on Twitter. Where can people find you?
Warstew. And you can look up Dynamite Tactics. That's me and my brother's Facebook. Bambo. You guys can look us up on that, or Warstew, or you can look me up on Warstew. WARSTEW.
All right, excellent. Well, good luck on September 26th. We hope everything turns out well for you. That's going to wrap up another episode of Toothless MMA's radio series Quick Hitters. I'd like to extend a big thank you to today's guests for joining us. For Warren Stewart, this is John Galloway, and we are tapping out.